Hey, Skippy here with BSO Fly Company, Big Sexy Outdoors, and Two Guys on the Fly. Two Guys on the Fly will be another platform that me and Mike will be doing podcast, strictly fly fishing, do's, don'ts, what you want to learn, what you don't want to learn, flies, fly tying, fly fishing, nymphing, dry fly fishing, rig setup, rods, all that good stuff. But I was going through my flies, some of my fly supplies, or getting ready to order some stuff in, and I came across a fly that I haven't tied in forever. I don't use them. I've had people order them. Well, not within the last 2 years, I don't think. But I was like, I don't think I've ever tied one on video. So I'm going to tie the Brassy. There are a couple different variations of this one. Let's see here. We are going to be using, these are usually, you can tie them from, what was I seeing? From 16 down to 18 and 20s. I wouldn't want to tie one on a 20. But we're going to tie it on a 14. This is a 14 Daiichi nymph hook with a black tungsten bead on it. I don't know how well the camera's picking up the bead. I'll let center here a little bit. But it's a pretty simple fly. We're going to use some Unithread. This is 136D. Good thread. But this is a 1/8 tungsten bead on a Daiichi size 14 barbless hook. A barbless nymph hook, that is. So let's get a thread base right behind the bead there. It's a pretty simple fly. Let's see, where's my snaps? I have it. It's like a disaster in here. My garbage can's overflowing. We're going to put a thread base all the way back, right to the bend. Come all the way back up, right there. And we're going to use some Ultra Copper. Get all the kinks out of there. Get her nice and straight. This is the ultra thin. There's very little on this. The tungsten bead, the hook, and this wire, it'll sink like a rock. Get down to them fish if they're on the bottom. You can use a heavier copper. This is a medium. I think it's a little too much for that hook. But the guys have tied it with that. So it's all in your own preference on how you want to tie it. So this is a tungsten Cyclops bead. So it's got a pretty big gap in the back. So set your wire in there and just don't let it come through the face of the bead there. Wrap her all the way back. I mean, basically there's only 3 materials on this: the thread, the wire, and peacock curl. So bring your thread all the way back up, about 3/4. Oops, there, I caught that hook. About 3/4 of the way up, right about there. Just to get it out of my way, let's throw a half hitch it. We got a bead on. We can't half hitch with a bead. Let's put a whip finish in there just to hold our thread. And we'll put it on the cradle, just to get it out of the way while we wrap the copper. Let's get the cradle over here. There we go. So your first couple wraps are the tricky ones because they're right on that bend, and you want your wire to be tight wraps all the way up. I mean, if you get one that's not tight and you can see some of the black in there, yeah, it ain't the end of the world. My wire is a little long here. It is a little time consuming. Let's snip some of this off here. So I've seen guys tie these with different collars. This will get a green peacock curl collar on it. I've seen them tie them with CDC, hare's ear collars, and all sorts of good stuff. So we're going to stop right about, we'll go one more. Right about there. Let's get our cradle out of the way here. I'm going to shorten up the old bobbin. There, up here. We can clear anywhere we want right there. Secure it front and back. You can helicopter this stuff off because this stuff is so thin. Okay, now peacock curl. I just had it. Peacock curl. We're only going to take one strand. Let's get a nice one in here. And right there. Oops. Right there. Oh, we end up getting two. We only want one. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fold this over our thread here. Hold on. Let's shorten her up here a little bit. Even her up. We're just going to take that up there. And we're going to cinch her around all the way back to right on top of the copper wire, brass wire. We're just going to make some spirals. Nice collar on it. Like I said, this is a pretty durable fly just because it's wire and peacock curl. Now the peacock curl I would say is going to wear the fastest because it is a very delicate feather. So let's snip her off. You don't even got to use scissors on it. I did. You can just snap that stuff with your fingers. Let's put a whip finish in here. 3. Then I'll pull her tight, and then another set of 3. 2, 3. And let's see if I can get her in the camera for you. Let's see how she looks. But there it is. There's a brassy. It's a 14 Daiichi hook, nymph hook, black 136D, ultra thin copper wire or brass wire, where it looked copper brass, 1/8 tungsten bead, and one strand of peacock curl. There you go. Now, like I said, I don't think I don't fish them. I don't. I should just to give it a shot, but I don't. That's the problem. Some of these flies I don't fish. I tie a lot of them, and I can't say, oh, this is, a guarantee to catch fish or anything like that, because I never use them. I mean, guys that are Euro nymph their whole life have probably used them. I have not Euro nymphed my whole life. This is only my a year and a half of Euro nymphing. Before I was just a dry dropper guy and dry fly until I got hooked on the nymphing. But yeah, it's a brassy. You can order them here at BSO Fly Company. I would probably say because it has a tungsten bead on it. I mean, you could probably order them with whatever bead you want. If you don't want a tungsten bead, you just want a brass bead, or a brass bead, copper bead, a black bead, silver bead, tungsten, tungsten silver, tungsten brass, tungsten black. I'd probably say, I don't know, $12 a dozen. It's probably what they are. So I'm gonna go with $12 a dozen. But there it is, the Brassy, tied here from BSO Fly Company. Wish Mike was here with me today, because he ties a lot more nymphs and stuff than I ever did. 90% of the time I was tying dry flies, because that's what I was fishing, that's what I was selling, until me and him got together and got this bright idea. BSO Fly Company, let's tie flies and sell them. So until next time, I am out of here. BSO Skippy, good night.